Hello, hello, children. How are you all? Yeah, I hope that everybody is fine and fit. Okay, in your houses. Okay, hope that you are all studying well, all are just reading your textbooks and completing your notes. I hope that everybody is fine and healthy at your houses. Okay, so in previous lectures that we had discussed regarding the what are we discussed in the previous lecture about what about the domestication, what is domestication, and what are kind of animals and plants which they were used in the domestication purpose. And we also saw regarding the timeline of the domestication and what was the years before, how many years ago this domestication process took place. And also we saw about the earlier plants that were been domesticated, the special plants which were they were wheat and barley. Okay, and also the animals that were been domesticated in the previous times or earlier times, they were sheep and goat. Okay, so these things we saw in the previous lecture. And also second point, we saw about Neolithic period. We started to discuss about the Neolithic period that was been started 10,000 years ago. Okay, and the farming and grains were been grown in these times, and they were used in many ways. Four ways have been we saw regarding which were they were grown as seeds, as a food, and as gifts, and they were being stored. So last lecture we came to know that the previous time the ancient people, they at that time, after when the Neolithical period took place, they came to know that food storage is also a thing that could exist or that could be done. Okay, so they how did they come to, or how did they used to store the food? Okay, so that how that could be done. Okay, so they used to store the food by making clay pots and by weaving baskets, and also they used to dug the pits in the ground for the storage of food. And so these were the three kind of methods that were being followed for the food storage purpose in the Neolithical period. So this were the kind of 2 points that we saw regarding the in the last lecture. Now, as I told you in the last lecture, that today we would be discussing regarding the animals that were being uh, found in the Neolithical period. So the topic was regarding the storing animals. So how they animals were being stored. So the first point regarding, so let's get started within this. See, animals multiplied naturally. Okay, so what did they do? The ancient people, they used to look after the animals, and as they looked after them, they took care of them. Okay, by giving them all the facilities that they needed. What happened is that the animals multiplied naturally. Means they didn't have to do much work for them or much help for them. They themselves were being multiplied naturally. And what did the ancient people looked after them so carefully that the animals also they used to provide them milk, which was very important source of food, and meat whenever required. So the animals were being used as a meat also. And as the ancient people looked after them carefully, the animals also, yeah, respected them back by giving what, by providing them milk, or okay, and which was considered as an important source of food in previous times. And also they also were being used as a meat whenever the humans were required. Okay, the third point was that is that the animals that were being reared were used as a store of food. Okay, so this is what kind of 3 points regarding the, yeah, animals that were being we could see in the Neolithical times or Neolithical period. So what do you, in this point, what do you understand by the rearing of animals? Okay, so what do you understand by the term or by the word rearing? Means the rearing means that the humans or the people, they used to feed them, they used to raise them, they used to give pleasure or food, and these activities were being associated in common problems of order and elimination of animal waste were being carried out in the rearing of animals. So this was kind of an activity which was defined as that the animals were being raised, they were being looked after so carefully, they were being provided with food. Okay, so this is what kind of rearing means, and it means that to give so that animals may grow naturally. So this way, what happened is that the animals used to grow naturally or multiply naturally, and they uh, and the same way simultaneously or in the same way they also started to provide the humans milk, which was an important source of food, and also the animals were being used as meat also whenever the humans were required in those period times. Okay, and animals that were being reared, means as I have said, were also used as what, store of food. So the animals, they themselves were being used as a store of food. So this was kind of the part of the storing of animals were that took place in the or kind of activities that took place in the Neolithical or Neolithic period. Okay. Now let us come to know regarding in page number 18 only. Let's discuss about finding out about the first farmers and herders. Means how the archaeologists, means what happened is that now let us learn on how the archaeologists found all these concepts, how these concepts, this all kind of concepts took place. Okay, that is that see they how it took place. They studied the evidence of plants and animals. Who? The archaeologists. Means how did they come to know regarding all of such concepts? They came to know about the concepts by this, by studying the evidence of or the proof of plants and bones, means from where these plants and bones uh, were available, and they studied the remains of burnt grains. Okay, so they also used to study regarding the grains which were been burnt, and to get what, to get the knowledge of that which grains were being used, to get the knowledge of grains or which kind of grains were being used and how they were burnt and their possible uses. So for that's why they used to study about the remains of the burnt grains. Why did they study the remains of burnt grains? To get the knowledge of grains that were being grown and how they were being burnt and their what were their possible uses. And what did they find out? Again, the third point is that they found out the traces of huts and huts or houses at some sites. So they at some sites they also use they found out the traces of huts or houses. Okay, so we can say that they found the evidence, as they found the evidence of early farmers and herders also. They these are found all over the subcontinent. Means what happened is some of the important ones were in the northwest, that is present day in Kashmir, and east and south India. Okay, so to find out whether these sites were been settlements, okay, as I have said, that they found out some traces of huts or houses at some sites. It's what happened that to find out these sites or were settlements of farmers and herders. and scientists study this evidence of plants and animal bones. As I have said in the first point, that they study the evidence of plants and bones. Okay, and the most exciting finds includes the burnt grain. That is the second point that I have discussed. Okay, they found out about the burnt grains, and also then knew about number of crops that were been grown in different parts of the subcontinent also, and they can also they could also identify the bones of different animals. Okay, so this is what regarding the study of archaeologists were. Now, for example, if we say in Burzahom, it is a place, a present place in Kashmir. The people used to build the pit houses. Okay, that you can see on page number 19 of your textbook. Okay, that is, the people used to build that pit houses which were dug into the ground. So they used to build the houses that were dug into the ground. Why? Because but along with there was a step. Okay, there were steps were being also developed which leaded to that house, but they have provided shelter in cold weather. What is that? Why did they build that houses or pit houses under the ground? Because they provided them shelter in the cold weather. Okay, they also found the cooking huts on both sides, inside as well as the outside of the huts. Okay, they also found out the cooking huts both inside as well as the house outside of the huts. Why? That means what they suggested, depending on whether that people could cook food either on indoors or outdoors. Means they used to they found out regarding cooking huts also, both that inside and out, that found out inside, both inside as well as outside of the earth. Okay, so what do you mean by cooking huts? How, what is the meaning of the term cooking huts? That is that cooking hut means it is a, yeah, brick or stone or fireplace without an oven, means which are used for heating, originally also used for cooking food. Okay, cooking huts means it is kind of a brick or stone that lined fireplace, means that with or without an oven, it was used for heating, and originally they were being used for the cooking purpose. That is what the meaning of cooking huts is. So these cooking huts, they used to find out both the inside as well as outside the huts. Okay, they made these cooking huts both inside as well as the outside of the huts, which suggested what? That suggested depending on the weather. Because if they started cooking outside the huts, when if the monsoon season came, so what happened that that would really yeah, it would really make that cooking hut wet. So if it becomes wet, means it would not be possible for them to cook food. So what happened is that they made this cooking hut both inside as well as outside. So in inside, if they found any difficulty in cooking food, so they would go outside and cook food. But and in outside, if they found any difficulty, okay, or due to some weather conditions, if they found any difficulty outside cooking food, then they would get inside the huts and cook food. Which means that I meant to say is that this cooking huts were been, yeah, these cooking huts were been uh, made both inside as well as outside of the huts. So this is what uh, kind of common, yes, a special thing that those people of those time used to uh, do. Means they used to find these cooking huts both inside and outside the huts, which suggested depending on the weather, people could cook the food either on indoors or outdoors. So this is what kind of the things that we discussed today, the first part of this, that is Neolithical period. Now, what was the second part that we used, that I told that we would be discussing today, is that regarding the tools. So that is on page number 19 of your textbook. Means draw a pit house. Yeah, after that one paragraph is given. That is the portion that we are going to discuss now. that paragraph discusses about the tools that were being used in the Neolithical period. So what is the first point regarding the tools that were used in the Neolithical period? That is, the first point is that, see, the first point is that here, okay, the stone tools discovered, as I am pointing out the mouse, you can see there. See, the stone tools discovered are the different from the Paleolithic period. So the stone tools that were being used in the Neolithic period were different from that of the stone tools that were used in the Paleolithic period. Okay, and therefore the name Neolithic period came into existence. How could we say that this Neolithic period had a yeah, it was been named, how? Because the stone tools that were being used in the Paleolithic period, okay, and Neolithic period. So Neolithic period used the stone tools that were new. Okay, so Neolithic means, in the sense, neo means new, and lithic means stone. So Neolithic means new stone. That is the meaning of Neolithic. So in this way the name Neolithic was been was been named. Okay, so the stone tools that were being used in the Neolithic period were known as Neolithic Neolithical tools. Okay, so the tools of the Paleolithic period, but even though they used new kind of stone tools in this Neolithic period, what happened that, but the Paleolithic tools were not being ignored. They were also been continued to be used. Not only that, the means, in the sense that both the stone tools of the Paleolithic period as well as the stone tools of Neolithic period was been used. Means both the stone tools were being used. And what is the fourth point over here? See, tools were polished to give a fine cutting edge. So the stone tools that were being used in Neolithic period were being used to polish, or were being polished to give a fine cutting edge. They had a fine cutting or smooth edges. They had a smooth edges. Those stone tools had a smooth cutting edges. And what is the fifth point? That's mortars and pestles were used to grind the grain. So these are used still today. So even today, in the present situation, in the present scenario also, in today's world also, in this 21st century also, we are using this mortars as well as the pestle. You can see the stone tools that were being used in the Neolithic period in your textbook. Page number 19, you can see four kind of figures over there. So that is what the kind of stone tools that were being used in the Neolithic period. See, you can see there, their edges are really sharp and they are really smooth. Okay, and they are shining. Okay, yeah. So these kind of tools were being used also to and mortars and pestles were also being used to grind the grain. So even today also, as we can see, you when you go to the south side of India, the South India, especially in Kerala, these kind of mortars as well as pestles are used to for grinding purpose or to grinding the grains. The mortars and pestles are being used even today also. Okay, so this is what uh, we can see a connection between those time of period and also today. And what is some other tools that were being used? So some tools also that were being made of bone were also used in the Neolithic period. So this is what kind of tools, these were kind of tools that were being used in the Neolithic period. Okay. So in today's lecture, we have seen regarding the animals. Okay, the relation of animals, relation of human beings with the animals in the Neolithic period, and we also came to know regarding how the archaeologists came to know about all these kind of concepts. For that, what all steps they took forward, or what all things they studied. Okay, that things we have seen in today's lecture. That is that first they studied about the evidence of plants and animal bones, and they studied the remains of burnt grains to get the knowledge of grains that were being grown, and also to know their possible uses. and they were also found in the traces of huts as well as houses at some sites. So, as an example, we saw regarding Burza home, that is a pleasant place, present place in Kashmir. Okay, it was built in the pit houses in the underground. Okay, means which were dug into the ground, and it provided them shelter in cold weather. And they also found the cooking huts, which were both used as in the inside as well as outside of the huts, and that suggested that it was dependent on the weather. So people could cook food either on indoors or outdoors. So this is what we have seen the first topic for today. And for second topic, we discussed that regarding the tools that were being used in the Neolithical period. Those were means they were discovered from different that were discovered in Neolithical period were different from Paleolithical period, and as they were different from Paleolithical period, they were termed as Neolithic. So Neolithic means we came to know that Neo means new and Lithic means stone. So new kind of stone tools were being produced in the Neolithical period, or we could see in the Neolithical period. Now the third point, we saw that tools of Paleolithical period were also being used along with the Neolithical stone tools. Okay, and the fourth point we saw is the tools were being polished to give a fine cutting edge. As you could see in the figure on page number 19, the stones were been having yeah were been polished to give a fine cutting edge. Okay, and the fifth point we saw is that the mortars and pestles were also used for what? Grinding purpose, for grinding of grains. And this thing we also use in today's world. Okay, and the sixth point regarding tools is that some tools were being made of bones also. So this is what kind of tools that we saw regarding that were being used in the Neolithical period. Okay, now in the next lecture we would be discussing about the some more items that were being found in the Neolithical period. So what were the different more kind of items that were found in the Neolithical period, that we would be discussing in the another lecture as a first part. And the second part we would be discussing in another lecture is that after all such kind of activities, or after all such kind of different kind of what the kind of techniques, the animal rearing, and also the all kind of tools that we saw. So after accepting all such changes in those times, did everything change altogether from that time? So how that could how could we say that everything changed, whether changed or not, as per the previous times? So this would we would be discussing as a second part in the next lecture. So okay, the first point would be that other items that found in the Neolithic period, and the second point that would be discussing in another lecture would be that did everything change altogether after that situation, or after that Neolithical period? Okay, so that's all for today. I hope that in today's lecture you understood regarding the tools that were being used in the Neolithical period, as well as the yeah as well as the regarding the animals that were in the Neolithical period, as well as how the archaeologists used to study, or how the archaeologists came to know regarding the such concepts that took place in the Neolithical period. So this is what kind of topics that were being discussed today. So I hope that you understood. So I would request you all children to read from today's topic. That is, I will be showing you as per the textbook. You have to read today's topic from yes, as I had said in last lecture, up to here. Okay, up to this ground. See, I had already, yeah, up to this portion you have read in yesterday. Okay, so in today's part you have to read from this storing animals. Okay, storing of animals to the, yes, You have to read this too. Yeah, you have to read up to. Yes. Did things change everywhere and all at once? Okay. Or up to this. Okay, this grown. Besides, they began weaving cloth using different kinds of materials. For example, cotton that could now be grown. Okay. See, we have seen because earthen pots were also being found, and these were uh, sometimes decorated and were used for storing things. People began using pots for cooking food, especially grains like rice, wheat, and lentils that now became an important part. Okay, and also we have seen that regarding yeah, this draw a petta house. Okay, this the stone tools we found in many sites as well, many of the different from earlier paleolithic tools. See, we have seen this point. This include tools that were being polished for cutting edge and mortars and pestles used for grinding grain. Okay, so you have to read from continued to made and used, and remember some tools were also being made of bone. Yeah, up to this bone. So this is kind of, yeah, you have to read up to this para. Okay, yeah, so you have to read from storing animals. Okay, so I'm highlighting is from here to, yes, up to this bone. Up to this part you have to read today's portion as we have explained today. You have to read along from the storing animals to this made of bone. So this two page you have to read, that is page number 18 as well as page number 19. You have to read up to this made of bone as we have discussed today. Okay, so I hope that you have understood regarding these 2 points that we discussed today. So please read the textbook as I have already shown. Once again I will show you in the screen, that is, yeah, from the storing animals to, in the next page you have to read up to this. Yes, up to some tools were also made of bones. Up to here only that we have discussed today as per this points, these 2 points, that is 3 and 4. Okay, so I hope that you have understood, and now read the portions and try to understand. If you find any difficulty, or just put up a text message in WhatsApp, or you can call me and I could clear your doubts. Okay. So in the next lecture, I have already told you what we will be discussing. So please read the textbook thoroughly, and yeah, you can call me at any time if you have any doubt. And yes, in the next lecture, we'll continue regarding these points. Okay. So by the time, take care and be safe and study really well. Complete your notes. And so hope to see you all tomorrow. So God bless you all. Bye. Take care.